This tale unfolds after the events of the main quest storyline from The Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom. The Phantom of Kakariko, written by Ramenko. As Paya strolled through Kakariko village, morning mist blanketed the ancient rooftops. The air was rich with the scent of wood smoke, while the spirited shouts of children playing near the cookhouse filled the village with life. Amidst the bustle, Paya's soft footsteps were a gentle whisper, and while she exchanged polite nods and kind greetings with the villagers, an air of detachment surrounded her. For beneath her composed exterior, a fervent passion simmered. Her heart belonged to the legendary hero, Link, a name that resonated with the echoes of countless tales spun throughout Hyrule. And in the solitude of night, under a canopy of infinite stars, she poured her deepest emotions onto the pages of her diary. Paya chronicled the moment her love took root.
I spoke to grandmother about what's been weighing on my mind lately.
She wrote on page 2.
For the first time, my heart knows what it means to love. Though it may be a love that is never shared or returned, just having it for myself is gift enough. Seeing him brings me great joy. I bet he has that effect on everyone.
At night, bathed in the soft glow of candlelight, she wrote of Link's shining qualities. She captured the sky-blue crinkle of his eyes when he laughed, and the warmth in his voice as he spoke to old Clary while he helped with the wash. She documented every encounter with him, the stolen glances, the accidental brushes of hands, the pure delight of his laughter ringing in her ears. Her love, an unbridled torrent, spilled onto the pages like a river in full flow. Yet, in his presence, she remained guarded, keeping a careful distance. Her bloom remained hidden in the shadows. But one day, after watching Link leave the village for yet another adventure, Paya felt an unfamiliar heaviness settle in her chest. It clung to her, casting a subtle gloom over her days. In his absence, the weight persisted, steadfast and unyielding. Upon hearing of Link's return, Paya's world transformed. The weight in her chest dissipated like fog under the morning sun. In his presence, her steps were as light as air. His aura left her suspended in euphoria, a feeling she could scarcely put into words. And at night, while the village lay in slumber, Paya lay awake. Sleep eluded her as thoughts overflowed with memories of him. His valor, the timbre of his voice, the kindness in his gaze, all played on an endless loop, a melody that refused to be silenced. The diary became her sanctuary, a haven where loneliness dissolved and dreams took flight. Within its pages, Paya found release, her inked confessions a silent testament to a love that dared not speak its name. On page 47, she admitted,
Link visited today. He didn't come for me, but I caught a glimpse of him. For the first time, I longed to run, to embrace him. I didn't. How could I explain? A brief hello was all I could manage before I fled, a sudden fever overtaking me. I feared I might collapse. His mind is burdened enough without my worries. The fever hasn't gone away. I pray it's not sickness.
Unbeknownst to her, it had become an unconscious habit to watch him from afar. Her gaze was irresistibly drawn to his every movement. She remained oblivious to the subtle tremor that crept into her voice whenever conversations brushed upon the topic of love. In moments of vulnerability, the idea of confessing her feelings to Link would tiptoe into her mind, only to be forcefully shoved away. The fear of rejection paralyzed her, and the thought of their delicate friendship, the only thread that bound them, unraveling under the weight of her confession, was a haunting reality she couldn't face. So, she chose silence, letting her unspoken love fester like an infected wound. Yet one evening, while in Link's presence, she mustered the courage to purposefully brush her fingers against his, a silent plea etched in that gentle touch, begging him to understand. Of course, he'd never noticed the subtle significance behind her actions, for his gaze was always fixed elsewhere. Nevertheless, the countless intimate hours spent with her diary continued to nurture this longing, a delicate seed planted in the fertile soil of love. With each sunrise, the seed sprouted and grew, its roots digging deeper into her. Memories of him brought her joy, but they also left empty spaces that only he could fill. The agony of unrequited love was a bitter pill to swallow, yet she endured, hoping against hope that one day, the courage to share her feelings would find its way, like a fragile whisper in the wind, reaching out for a chance to be heard.